All parties on Moriarty versus Peter Fay. Step forward, please.
28-year-old student pilot Elliot Moriarty claims flight instructor Laszlo Peterfay is responsible for his plane running out of gas, forcing him to land on a California freeway. Elliot says he now suffers from fear of flying.
Order. All rise. Your Honor, this is case number 648 on the calendar in the matter of Moriarty versus Peter Fay. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Gentlemen, have seats, please.
Mr. Moriarty, I really, after all these years on the bench, thought that I had seen everything until I read your complaint. You were taking flying lessons.
Yes, Your Honor.
From him?
Yes, Your Honor.
How long did you take flying lessons from him?
I believe it was approximately 3 months.
Had you taken flying lessons from anyone else?
Not flying lessons, but a thrill ride at Torrance Airport.
What?
A thrill ride.
Thrill ride?
Right.
What do you do for a living, sir?
I'm an assistant manager.
What kind of company?
A restaurant.
You get to the restaurant by driving your car?
Bike.
You don't have a car?
No, Your Honor.
How old are you?
28 now.
So you were taking flying lessons, and then there came a time when you were flying solo, is that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you ran out of gas?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you landed on a freeway?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you're suing him?
Yes, Your Honor.
Now you can explain that to me.
The explanation is this, Your Honor, that upon my entire training, I was never trained or taught on how to fuel an airplane. It's not like a car. I've asked him one time before, how do you fuel up? He told me, don't worry about it now, I'll show you later.
Fuel up. Now, what do you have to do to fuel up? When you're driving a car, you pull into either one of two lanes. Either it says full service, the one that I like, or self-service, the one that I don't understand at all. And then you get out, and I've seen people, they open up the thing, and they put the thing in the thing, and you fill up your car with gas.
I understand.
Does it work the same way with a plane?
No, Your Honor.
Do you put the gas in the plane?
No, Your Honor.
So somebody else puts the gas in a plane?
Yes, Your Honor.
So you go to a plane gasoline station.
No, what happens is, I guess you call somebody, either a frequency or by phone,
Yes.
and I was never included in...
Shh. You don't want me to think you're stupid, do you? So just answer my question. Periodically, a plane needs gasoline because it doesn't fly on dreams.
Right.
Now, is there a gauge in the plane that it says fuel?
Yes, there is, Your Honor.
And it has a little stick? Because I know about that stick. With the cars today, they even talk to you. You're out of gas, you're out of gas. But I assume that they don't have that in planes. They have a gauge. You do know how to look at the gauge.
Yes, Your Honor.
And when it starts to get on empty,
Well, I can give you the explanation.
Then you say to yourself, I think I need gas.
Well, here it is, Your Honor. Upon my solo cross-country, I have to perform a dual cross-country. Throughout that dual cross-country, we did not fuel up at Santa Barbara or Santa Ynez, which...
So just a second. You went together
Yes.
on a dual cross-country
Beforehand.
before you went solo.
Yes, Your Honor.
And during that trip, you didn't fuel.
No, Your Honor. We fueled up at Van Nuys, and when I made my flight plan, I put 4.5 hours, which is a direct reflection of a full tank for the type of aircraft I was flying. Now, his job as an instructor is to review my flight plan and to make sure there's no mistakes on it whatsoever. Upon his evaluation of my reviewing my flight plan, he just, I don't know, totally missed it. And we together went down, did a check, checked the airplane. I checked the fuel on the wings to make sure that it corresponds with the amount of fuel on the needle, which was approximately, if I remember correctly, about 2/3. I told him what it was in there. It was fine with him. So I'm the student, and he's the instructor. If it's fine with him, I felt, okay, then his judgment is correct.
Before I got in a plane, there'd be a full tank of gas, that's for sure. I mean, if I were ever stupid enough to get in a plane unless I had to go someplace.
Right, but he was totally aware of how much fuel I had. He didn't say anything about it.
You have no responsibility for this. I understand from here, from your papers, that you have footage of you landing on the freeway?
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm dying to see that.
Very lucky, Your Honor.
Look at that plane. Looks like something you put together with those little sticks, you know? One fits in, you know what I'm talking about, Bert? Remember those things we used to have as kids? Put balsam wood.
That's right.
Right? Flat thing, and you put one in the other, and you rubber band, and you
Glider,
go.
little glider.
Wouldn't trust my life to one of those things.
Your Honor?
What?
Okay, well, first of all, see, all this started over him refusing to pay me my unused fee. After the incident, I basically induced naturally this fear of flying. I discontinued it.
So is this what it's about? You discontinued your flying, and you want your money back for what you didn't use?
Let me clarify that really good. Okay, when I discontinued, I wanted the remainder of my unused fees.
Right.
Now, he sent me a check the first time for $90.
How much do you think it is?
$147 and...
$147.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. So why are you suing him for $3,100?
That's what I would like to get into. This basically escalated up to this point because when he decided to keep my money, as if that wasn't enough experience for me, it made me rethink everything over again. And this is what I concluded that, okay, I ran out of fuel, I landed on the freeway. Okay, whose fault is it? Was it really my fault or was it his fault? When I rethought everything over, throughout my training, I've been given inadequate training and lack of supervision. His lack of supervision is not reviewing my flight plan correctly, as he is responsible to do so by the federal aviation regulations. And in one of his letters, he stated to me, without dispute, he will refund my money back. As of to date, he has not.
Refund how much money?
The $147.
Fine, I have no problem with giving you back $147. I have a problem with $3,100.
Well, if I can establish...
If you don't like, sir, the kind of instruction that you're getting from a pilot, then you say, I'm not satisfied with the quality of the training that you're giving me. What you're saying to me is a 28-year-old man who lands his plane on a freeway and walks away without a scratch, instead of getting down on the floor and thanking God that you landed on the freeway, decided to sue somebody. That's America.
No, Your Honor.
That's America. Not only decide to sue him for the remainder of your outstanding fees that you had already prepaid, that even I could understand, but sue him for everything else because we're a country of a lot of navel gazers. You know, you sit down here and say, now let me see, $147, but I really think that he gave me a fear of flying, and he didn't train me right all the 3 months I was a student, and you had a lot of time to think about it. You're lucky you weren't thinking about it with all of your appendages in casts. It would be ridiculous.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
When you wrote him the letter...
Elliot Moriarty says his flight instructor, Laszlo Peterfey, is responsible for his plane running out of gas, forcing him to land on a California freeway. Laszlo is countersuing for loss of work.
Now, let's get to your ridiculous counterclaim. You want to tell me about it, or you just want to say, I'm sorry, I'm withdrawing it?
Actually, no, ma'am.
All right, so now I'm ready for you.
The counterclaim is I wrote Mr. Moriarty a letter stating that I don't want to dispute the $147, and several days after this, I got a letter from the FAA, and based on the information that Mr. Moriarty provided the FAA, they wrote me a letter saying that if I don't respond within 10 days, my pilot certificates will be suspended. Mm-hmm. My livelihood is flying, so this jeopardized my career.
But they did not remove your certification.
Well, I had to go for a re-examination.
Just a second. You had a hearing and had to go for a recertification, is that right? Now, what you're suggesting, sir, is that he does not have the right to complain about what he believes is inadequate training to the appropriate authority, which in this case was the FAA. Well, the First Amendment to the Constitution says you can complain to anybody about anybody else as long as you are not doing it out of malice. And I believe that even though he's wrong, he believes, after looking at his belly button for a long time, that you didn't give him adequate training, because if you had given him adequate training, he wouldn't have taken off in a plane that didn't have a full tank of gas.
Well, I can prove that I gave him adequate training.
Listen to me. He says he showed you the flight plan when he was going solo, that there was 3/4 of a tank of gas there, and he says he landed on the freeway. All right? So he said he didn't get adequate training. He's allowed to complain to you. I am not going to give him $3,100 that he's asking for because, as far as I'm concerned, he's a grown man, and a grown man who drives a car and who drives a plane ought to know that when the needle goes to empty, you got to get gas. So I'm going to give him his $147, and I tell you, sir, that it would have been wiser for you, instead of responding to him and saying to him, I will not dispute your $147, when you wrote him the letter, should have sent him a check. Should have said, here's the check for $147. I'm very sorry you're not using my services anymore. Goodbye and good luck. And next time, try an airport.
Your Honor. Your Honor, I have a witness here who is a certified flight instructor. He also has an airline transport pilot rating. He has come to me on his own because he evaluated me, and he would like to provide some expert testimony on
About
my training.
what?
About my inadequate training and lack of supervision I was provided.
Listen to me. Do you tap dance?
No, Your Honor.
If you take tap dancing lessons and you don't like the instructor, then you don't use the instructor, you go someplace else.
Your Honor, but when I'm the student, how do I know if I'm being provided with good training?
You mean
or not?
you had to land on the freeway to figure out that you weren't getting good training? Come on.
No,
Wake up, start taking some response. I mean, you have to laugh at this.
No, Your Honor.
Do you have to laugh at this?
Yeah, there's some things that are missing, though.
There are things that are missing there.
There are
One
holes
thing
in
that are
my
missing are
training.
your eyes. Just a second. One thing that are missing are your eyes. If you're a big enough boy to get behind the wheel of a plane and you're riding along and it starts to turn on empty, what you do is you pick up a phone and you say, help. You know, you don't fly until you fly all the way on empty. You know, how many of us have driven with our husbands and we say, it's on empty. Don't tell me it's on empty. I have plenty of gas.
But Your Honor, there's
Right?
clear violations here.
I suggest you stay on your bike. Judgment for the plaintiff for the amount of $147. Counterclaim.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
There's two things I knew. I knew at what age I was going to die, and I knew how I was going to die.
He flew over 10 airports where he had a chance to fuel. I also told him to fuel during the flight.
He reminded me about refueling in Santa Barbara. Before I left on my solo, he reminded me again to refuel in Santa Barbara. Duh.
I don't know. I mean, there's basically pirates in the sea. I never met a pirate in the sky before.
And now the next case.
All parties on Besesden versus Barajas Beckley. Step forward, please.
22-year-old newspaper reporter Victoria Bessedin claims 21-year-olds Rosie Barajas and Minta Beckley used her library card to check out 23 books. They didn't return them, leaving Victoria with a $1,000 library fine.
Miss Becerra, did you go to college?
I just finished.
Where did you go to college?
Cal State University, San Bernardino.
And you ladies go to school?
Not right now.
Well, you did a while ago, is
Yeah.
that right?
Mm-hmm.
Where were you going to school?
San Bernardino Valley College?
And you?
San Bernardino Valley College.
For some reason, these two ladies wanted to use your library
Yes.
in your school.
Yes.
And you could take books out. Take your hands out of your pockets. And you could take books out of your library. These young ladies said, could we take some books out on your card? You said, okay.
That is not what happened.
Fine, tell me what happened.
Okay, we had a report to do for a class. What happened was that we were all friends at the time. She knew we had a report to do. She offered her library card because we could not find the books in our library. She offered for us to use her library card.
So that's come close. She offered or you asked, whatever it was, it doesn't make any difference. You used her library card and you took out 23 books. And then she starts getting billed for $1,000 because you didn't return the books.
We did return the books.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I can understand maybe one book turning up missing, but for all 23 books to turn up missing, there lacks statistical probability for that. You know, you're looking at me smiling like an idiot. You know that.
Closed captioning, sponsored in part by Real Cases, Real People, Judge Judy. Victoria Bessedin loaned her library card to Rosie Barajas and Minta Beckley. They checked out 23 books and didn't return them. Victoria wants her $1,000 library fine paid.
Tell me how you returned the books.
What happened was the books had not been turned in. She was notified. She called me. I think the books had been due like 3 days before. I remember that I had not turned in the books, called her, And it was during the evening. We did not turn in the books that same day that she called me, but we did go the next day to turn them in. I had called her to tell her that if she wanted me to take the books to her, she can turn them in. She said,
why should she do that? You use the books.
Because
why should she carry back 23 books to the library that you use?
I just said if she wanted to turn them in or does she want me to turn them in.
So you didn't turn them in for 3 days. Is that right?
Yeah, it was, well, 4 days because it was the next day.
Now, when you turned them in, where did you turn them in?
Into a box. A drop box.
Baloney. You want me to tell you why it's baloney? Because I can understand maybe 1 book turning up missing, maybe 2 books turning up missing. But for all 23 books to turn up missing, there lacks statistical probability for that if you return the books. So you didn't return the books.
We did return the books.
Even if you say you returned the books, this bill is your responsibility, not hers. She didn't take them out. She didn't use them. She didn't return them late. You did. Why should she have to pay?
It was her library card.
What?
And we did
Just a
turn
second. Say that one more time for me. One more time, because it's her library card?
And we did turn in the books. It's not our fault that the library does say that we did not turn the books in.
I just said to you, I'm assuming, for the purpose of this, that you did return the books, which you did not. But assuming that you did, and assuming that the library lost them, but she not only received a bill for them, but according to you, you couldn't get your diploma. Is that right?
Yes.
Is that right? Why should she suffer because of the fact that you took out these books? Did you report from them? You used them? You did not act responsibly in not returning them on time? You know, you're looking at me smiling like an idiot. You know that. How much did this cost you in the library?
$1,000.70, Your Honor. And that's just for the cost of the books, replacing them, and the overdue fees. I'm not asking for anything more. I had to go to college an extra term. I'm not asking to get that money refunded.
I want to tell you something. If you did, I might have given it to you because I know what happens. Exactly. Let me see the letters from the library.
Yes.
Fools.
That's the original one. That's the current one.
Two fools.
The pink one, Your Honor, is the current list that shows that the books have still not been found as of almost 2 years ago.
Did you ever get your diploma?
No, ma'am. And I'm trying to apply to my master's program at Cal State Fullerton, and I can't
Is the reason that you can't get your degree because of the outstanding books?
Yes.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Want justice? Call 1-888-800-JUDY. On the internet, judgejudy.com.
When she told you that she was having this problem, what did you say to her?
We had agreed to go to the library together to talk about this twice. She would always change the date.
Why didn't you just go to the library?
I did go to the library once.
And what happened?
And they told me that I needed to know exactly the books, and I had no way of contacting her to know what, because they needed to know the titles of the books so they can look for them.
How would she know the titles? You used the books.
Well, how would I know them? There are 23 books. I know what they were about, but I didn't know the title.
How would she know the titles if you took out the books? You had them.
Because they were under her library card, so it would show up on there what books were checked out.
You have to be a little more diligent, madam. I know that you have a very busy schedule here. I can see that you have a very busy schedule, but you have to be more diligent. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,000.70. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
You're welcome. This is case number 221 on the calendar in the matter of Collins versus Deal. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Folks have seats.
Ms. Collins, you and the defendant were engaged. It is your claim that he purchased engagement ring for you, an engagement ring set for you. He bought it on your credit card. The engagement is over, the relationship is over, you want the rings back, or you want him to pay off the credit card. Is that what you want? He says you actually took the rings back. He doesn't have possession of the rings, you have them, and he is counterclaiming for some medical bills that he says he paid for you. There was an agreement that you would pay him back, and you never did. Is that right, sir?
That's right.
Who's got the rings?
I do not have the rings with me.
But you have them at home.
No, I do not have the rings at all.
Did you take the rings back from his house?
No, I did not. He has the rings. I'm making payments on the rings. Supposedly, I took the rings. I did not take the rings.
Let's start so we don't have to go back to the year of the flood. You're engaged, you're happy, you're together, buys the rings using her store credit. And then you break up. On what date did you break up?
I'd say the end of August.
And who had the rings at that time?
I did. I was making payments. The agreement was if I had the rings, I was going to pay for them.
So she gave you back the ring?
Yes.
Right?
Right.
Now, tell me about how the rings came from your possession to her possession.
Okay, first of all, she is wearing some of the rings that she took from my house. July 15th through the 17th, she had a fight with her boyfriend. She thought they were breaking up or something like that. So she came over after work, and we started talking. One thing led to another, we had sex. I went to the kitchen to get some water. She ran down the hall, locked herself in my room. She knew exactly where the rings were. When I went there, the door was locked. I had to go in the other room, get my spare key to get it out. Those rings right there were in the room. Same thing. I said, you know, I'm not going to pay for them if you have them. That's, you know, why pay for something you don't have? That's my whole thing. She said, fine. She thought because we had sex that everything was going to be okay. She was going to like, oh, next month he's going to pay because we had sex. And I'm tired of getting used by her. That's all she does. She just uses people.
There's no way I could have gone to his room. He locks his room with a key. My mother can vouch for that because she came over one day where his room was locked. His room was always locked. Always. There's no way I could have stormed down his hallway and went in his room.
When I am home, I don't lock my house. I don't lock my room. When I'm away, I lock my room. That's plain and simple. I have roommates. Everyone goes in and out.
You broke up when?
The 4th.
April?
Yeah, April.
April. And so you made payments in May?
Yeah, I was making payments all the way
Made
through.
payments in June? And made payments in July?
That is correct.
And in July 15th to 17th, I gather there's no issue that you were at his house.
I was not at his house, and I did not sleep with him. I have not been at his house for probably close to 4 months.
Do you have any witnesses?
Yes, I have my mother. She can testify about the rings with the conversation she had with him.
Oh, let me hear what you have to say about the rings. What's your last name, Collins?
Jared.
Tell me the conversation you had with the defendant about the rings.
After they had broke up and after they're purchasing the rings, Melissa would talk to Chuck every month to make sure that he was going to make the payment because it was her credit. And he said yes. Well, in June, they weren't getting along very well, and she had told Chuck that she would like to have her rings back because she's tired of dealing with him every month and having to call to see if he's going to make the payments because it's her responsibility. And she said, if you don't give me my rings back, I'm just going to go to court because it's my account and I'm responsible for the loan. Chuck called me on my cell phone in June on my way to work, left me a message, a very lengthy message that Melissa called him, said that she wanted her rings back. He didn't understand why I'm making the payments. She said she's threatened to take me to court. I don't understand why I'm making the payments. And then that was when the next day she had called me and said that Chuck had called her and said yes, but he, of course, had, at that point said that she had stole the rings. But then he made the payments in July and August.
So what you're saying is they broke up in April, but sometime in June, she said, I want the rings back.
Right. Yes, ma'am.
Even though he was making the payments, she said, I want the rings back.
Yes, ma'am.
Perfect. She took them. Sit down. Your
did
claim
not
is
take
dismissed.
them.
Now I'm going to your counterclaim. You want to tell me about this surgery that you're talking about?
I like to go to Tahoe about every month. I took her to go to Tahoe, and on the way back we saw a sign for surgery, I guess. She said she wanted to get them done. I said, okay, that's fine. I was all, will you pay me back? She said, yes, I will. The only way that she could get them done is if I had to trick her mom and say it was a gift. That's the only way, because her mom would not have let her done it.
Never.
Shh.
So we're on the way, we get there, and she goes, I swear I'll pay you back $100 a month. I say, okay, that's fine. Every month she...
When was this?
September 13, 2001.
Okay. And then you became engaged in October.
Yeah, yes,
Is that right?
that is correct.
In September, did she give you any money?
No, she didn't.
In October, did she give you any money?
No, she didn't.
November?
No.
December?
No, she didn't give me anything.
January?
She didn't give me anything.
Listen to me. January?
No.
February?
No.
March?
No.
April, you broke up.
Yes.
You became engaged in October,
Yes.
right? Bought her rings in October.
Yes.
Did you ever live together?
Yes, we did.
From when to when?
October to the February.
And the kind of surgery she had was cosmetic surgery. Is that
correct.
right?
Yes, that's correct.
Right?
That's correct.
I hope you enjoyed it. Your counterclaim's dismissed. Goodbye.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
She wants everything and did not pay for anything.
He's a liar. He's always going to be a liar. If I had the rings, I wouldn't be here.
She's a cheater. She always cheats. She can't keep a steady boyfriend.
He's crazy. He's psycho. He's a liar.
I'm just happy it's over. I don't want to deal with her anymore.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Tyler versus Webb. Step forward, please.
Tax preparer Peggy Tyler is suing her former employer, business owner Tom Webb, for past due wages and sexual harassment.
Miss Tyler, according to your complaint, you worked for the defendant in January of 2000
Till April 15th of 2002, I'm sorry.
April of 2002, mid-April.
Right.
And you claim that he owes you some money. You say he owes you money for some wages that he didn't pay you for, that 2 weeks' worth, that he owes you some commission.
Yes, ma'am.
That he sexually harassed you, which is the reason he's not going to pay you because you did not respond to his advances. And third, and finally, that he had promised to pay your son some money for doing some odd jobs for him.
It was one, Your Honor. They took a balloon down the whole season.
You'll explain that to me because I have no idea what kind of work you were doing for Mr. Webb because it doesn't say in the complaint what kind of work you were doing and what kind of place he has. Mr. Webb says there was some money outstanding, according to him, but he said you broke your agreement with him. The agreement was that you would work for him through April 15th, and you left prior to that date, so he's not paying you a dime.
No, I didn't leave prior to that date.
That's your defense. Is that right, sir?
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Peggy Taylor says former employer Tom Webb sexually harassed her when he called her a hot biker mama. Peggy says when she rebuffed his advances, he refused to pay her.
What kind of business do you have, Mr. Webb?
Tax preparation and filing, Your Honor.
Ms. Tyler, when did you start to work for the defendant?
I actually started to work for him December the 23rd.
In what capacity?
I was a tax preparer, Your Honor.
And what was the salary that you were supposed to receive?
$7.50 an hour.
Is that correct so far?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, what about the commission part of it?
When we got hired, everybody that got hired, we signed a paper and agreed to that if we quit or was fired before April the 15th, we would not get our commission.
Well, I don't understand what the commission was. Is that a bonus?
The commission, yes, ma'am, it's like a bonus. It's on every tax return that I did. I get so much commission on that.
Let me see the contract that you signed.
It's not a contract, Your Honor. This is the people that I did from January, all of us in the...
Can I see the contract that you signed? Okay. So according to this, you started to work for him on January 1st, 2002. And you worked for him until what date, Ms. Tyler?
April the 15th at 9 p.m.
And how much are you owed in salary?
It's about $600.
Did you pay her salary for the last 2 weeks she worked for you?
The last pay period was actually about 8 days, and she did not receive that paycheck for those last 8 days, which
Why
would
not?
have been a gross of about $310, net of about $270. Ms. Tyler owed me $400.
For what?
From a loan I made to her February 1st. I'm not in the habit of loaning money to my employees, but she had a distinct need, a child who was very ill, who needed medicine, and if she didn't have that medicine, the child would either get very ill.
Did you borrow money from him?
Yes, I did.
How much?
It was $400.
Did you pay him back?
No, I did not. At the end of the tax season, when we went to the party, I had $200 in cash, Your Honor, and tried to give him that and ask him to bring the checks up there, and I was going to sign my other check over to him, which would have been well over the $400, but he did not want that. He asked me and my son to leave the commission party.
Just a second. When do you claim she left your employ, sir?
The last day that we have on record that she worked was April 13th. I have the daily time records from the last 2 days of the year, the 14th and 15th, and she did not work on those.
Let me see.
On the 15th, when I worked, Your Honor, Charlie is the one I called to the home office and asked him to clock me in.
Well, was that your general practice? To have
Yes,
somebody
ma'am.
else clock you in?
Yeah, we would either clock in on the computer and then we would call the home office and tell them what time we were in. And I worked from 9 a.m. or 9:30 that morning until 9 p.m. that night. That's when I turned my key over to B.J. Wade.
What key are you talking about?
To the office. All the employees had keys because on Sundays I worked by myself and I had to open the office.
Well, B.J., that's you. B.J. Wade, is that you?
Yes.
Step up, please. You were in the office on that day, is that right?
Yes.
On the 14th?
Yes.
Was the plaintiff there on that day?
Yes, she was.
Are you still working there?
No, I'm not.
How long did you work there?
The whole tax season.
Did you get
January
paid?
till April 15th.
Did you get paid?
Yes.
You know a Michelle?
Yes.
Was Michelle there on the 14th?
No.
Yes, she was. Time in 5, time out 9. She was there.
Peggy Tyler says former boss Tom Webb refuses to pay her because she refused his sexual advances.
How many people were you responsible for, madam?
6.
Of the 6 people that you were responsible for, how many worked until the 15th?
All of them but one.
Who was that?
Nancy.
So then the 5 people that you were responsible for get their commissions?
Yes.
Could you explain to me why she did not?
Because she owed the money, which she did agree to pay that back at the commission party, and he would not do it the way that she offered to do it.
Okay. Have a seat. Now, Ms. Tyler, let's address this theory that you have that the reason he's not paying you, according to your complaint, is that you did not respond to his sexual advances. You want to tell me about that?
He would look down our blouses and make comments about our breasts.
Tell me not our. Tell me what he said to you.
He called me a hot mama biker because
Okay, stop. When did he call you a hot mama biker?
It was in February.
Okay. Now, after February, and was the other comment that he made to you something about your breasts made at approximately the same time?
It was after that.
In what month?
Around the end of February, maybe the first week in March.
So that both remarks were made to you, being a hot biker mama, and the other thing you say is your boobs would make nice pillows.
Mm-hmm.
You attribute that to the defendant. Were made to you either in February or at the latest the first week in March. Is that right? Is that right?
Yes.
And you got paid the entire month of February. Is that correct?
Yes, I did.
And you got paid the entire month of March. Is that correct?
Yes, I did.
And when did you ask for this loan?
I believe it was around the end of February.
So none of the comments that he made to you so appalled you that you would be reluctant to ask him for a loan. Is that right?
Right.
So why let us assume that it's true for the moment, which I don't necessarily believe, sir. I want you to understand that. Why would you say that he was withholding your money because of this sexual harassment?
Because he didn't honestly believe that I would do anything about it. Because I'm not the only one that he cheated out of commission money, and years before that he did people ladies the same way, which he doesn't believe women can hold any kind of an office anywhere because they're not smart enough. We're supposed to be seen and not heard. But, Your Honor, honestly, if it hadn't been for all of us women, he wouldn't have had offices.
Ms. Tyler, if you didn't like Mr. Webb as an employer, don't go to work for him. You owe him $400. Now, clearly, he owes you some money, too. He owes you for 8 days, which, according to him, comes to what in gross pay, sir?
About $310.
Mr. Webb, I want you to figure out, sir, how much she earned in commissions. I assume that you've done that already.
Yes, ma'am.
And what would that amount be?
She did 133 tax returns, net to the company of about $14,000, which would have been $700 gross as a commission.
So altogether, we're talking about $1,010. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
From which we deduct $400. Now, it's really too bad that it ended this way. You being a nice person to make some loans. I think Ms. Tyler's accusations of sexual harassment are off the wall. If, in fact, you did say something stupid like that, I'll just chalk it up to stupidity. First of all, your sexual harassment is dismissed because you're suing him for $2,500. I want you to get that figure right out of your mind. Now, tell me about the deal with your sons.
They were to take the balloon down. BJ's husband put it up. They took it down.
How often did they take down this balloon?
Every night. It was 7 nights a week.
Really?
Yes.
And what was the agreement with regard to taking down the balloon?
He was going to pay them $100 each.
You have any agreement with the boys, sir?
I didn't know the boys existed until this was filed.
Really?
Correct.
Okay. Who do you claim he made the agreement with?
He made the agreement with my older son. He talked to him.
Come, step up. Tell me your name.
Jesse Tyler.
Tell me when you first met Mr. Webb.
I never met him before. I talked to him on the phone.
Tell me about how it came to pass that you spoke to Mr. Webb on the phone.
My mom told me that he wanted somebody to take the balloon down, and she told him that we could do it.
Tell me what you had to do.
It was out in front of the building, and we had to unplug it and let the air out of it and put it in the case and bring it in the building.
Mr. Webb, who did you think took the balloon down?
I was paying B.J. Wade and her husband, who took her to work and picked her up in the
Really?
evening to do that.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Miss Wade, stand up. Were you supposed to put the balloon out and take it up? You were the office manager.
My husband put it up every morning at 9
Were you
o'clock.
supposed to take it down?
No.
How much was he paid?
It was like $8 extra on my check a week to take it down. And I don't have the stubs with me. I didn't bring them.
Interesting. How did you know that it was this gentleman that you spoke to on the phone?
She told me, my mom told me.
Tell me how that came about.
We talked to him.
Tell me about that you talked to him. So far, I believe that your mother said to you, he wants you to take the balloon down, and he'll pay you for it, and he'll give you $100. I want you to tell me, and I want you to make sure you tell me the truth, because otherwise, you know, I'm unpleasant. You'll always trip yourself up if you lie. Do you know that?
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever speak to him on the phone?
Yes.
Tell me when, and tell me how that phone call came about.
It was in the beginning of January when the tax season started.
Go ahead.
And she answered the phone and told me that it was him, and I talked to him about it.
So you got on the phone, and what did you say?
I said that, what did you want me to talk about? You know, like that, you know.
No, don't buy it.
What?
Don't buy it. I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced it wasn't her husband. I have to be satisfied that he had a contract with him. That doesn't mean...
Well, they didn't put nothing in writing. No.
Can't hire a 10-year-old. Did your husband also pick you up from work?
Yes, but
yes, he did.
I did not work till
Okay,
closing.
judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $610, and that is for the wages and the commission that I believe you owe her, sir. Do you understand?
Yes, I do.
No sexual harassment and no balloon. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Now, this is case number 181 on the calendar in the matter of Jones versus Filarecki.
Thank you.
Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Folks, have seats, please.
Mrs. Jones, the defendant was your son's girlfriend for a
Right.
long time.
Yes.
How long did you live together?
5.5 years.
No, not that long.
That's what she says.
I'm sorry.
And your son was in a tragic accident and was killed.
Yes, he
And
was.
what you want from the defendant is property that you say belonged to your son. It was your
Yes,
son's
ma'am.
property.
Yes.
The defendant says that they lived together for a long time. They accumulated property together. She has given you some of his personal property, but the rest she feels is hers. And she is also counterclaiming because she says you've been harassing her, and there is some property that you have that actually belongs to her, right? I assume you would not have brought your counterclaim if the plaintiff had not brought her claim.
Right.
Is that a fair statement?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so I'm going to go to you for a minute. When did you and Mrs. Jones's son move in together?
Back in 97.
Okay. Tell me about the accident. Were either of you present when the accident happened?
Right after I was.
What was the date of the accident?
November 16, 2001.
And it was an automobile accident, is that right?
No, ATV, four-wheel terrain vehicle.
Okay. What items of personal property do you want?
He has a ring from Sealy Company, a gold ring that they had given him. Literally what I have right now is I had his work clothes, which were junk.
His work clothes, yes.
They're junk. I mean, they're holes.
Right.
I can do nothing with them.
Go ahead.
Things that I want back are the things that I was part of his life for, that he had bought.
Well, talk to me. I so far hear a gold ring. This
Their
is a court.
stereo equipment.
His stereo equipment?
Speakers,
Just a minute,
amplifiers.
Just a minute. Stereo? So far that has no sentimental value at all. What's next?
PlayStation, all his games. These were his things that he would have given to his nephews.
How old was your son when he passed away?
He was 26.
When did he buy the stereo?
Just within the last couple of years.
When he was living with the defendant?
Yeah, but everything he bought, I'm willing, if she has receipts, they'll probably fall on the credit cards that I've been paying for the last 3 years.
Why have you been doing that?
Because he was paying for her truck a lot. She kept getting it repossessed, didn't have the money to make her truck payments, so he would make her truck payments, then he wouldn't be able to pay his bills.
So he'd come to you and you'd make gifts to him?
No, not gifts. He had him pay him back.
Did he pay you back?
Not all of it. He died. before.
Well, no court is going to go through all those bills and figure out what he paid and what he didn't pay. I mean, these people lived together for, let's say, minimally 5 years. They had a home together. I mean, I can understand as his mother you might want certain sentimental things, but let's proceed with the list that you say. We have a stereo, we have a PlayStation. Go ahead, what else?
VCR, his DVD, his nice clothing that he had that wasn't all tore up. There was a lot of Dale Earnhardt collectibles that I had bought in him.
Yes, race cars. Go ahead.
He collected all things that I had bought in him through the years for Dale Earnhardt.
That you gave him as gifts.
To my son.
That you gave him as gifts.
Yes.
Once you give him things as gifts, they're gifts. What else?
He had car amplifiers, which were at one time in my truck. He had a cash box full of credit cards, which I had to call credit card companies because she kept those.
So you called the credit card companies and canceled them?
Yes.
Go ahead, Miss Jones.
I mean, he had all of his clothing, everything that was important to me, what David was into, and everything that was important to him.
Everything that was important to your son, he shared with the person he lived with, Miss Jones.
Well,
the only thing that you said to me that in any way moves me is a gold ring. A gold ring that may have had some sentimental value for you. A stereo doesn't have sentimental value. Neither does a VCR, a DVD, a car amplifier. Put my glasses on to see what else. A PlayStation. Even small race cars don't have sentimental value for you. I can understand you wanting to have something that belonged to your son that you can keep, that you can hold, that you can put in a box.
Well,
the only thing that would be is a ring. The rest of the stuff only has monetary value.
When this first happened, when David first passed away, Melissa asked me if she could use David's things because I had went down and got it from circuit court, so I was taking care of his estate.
Let me see what you have from Surrogate's Court.
And she asked me, could she use his things, which...
Let me just a minute.
Of course I said yes, she could.
I want to see what it says here.
Okay.
Okay, all this says is you can act as his voluntary administratrix. Was there any insurance or any other settlement as a result of this accident?
Life insurance?
Any insurance, any lawsuit, any money?
Life insurance.
Okay, and who was the beneficiary?
I was.
Okay, and how much was the life insurance policy?
$40,000.
Okay, so you got $40,000. So that the sum total of his estate was the $40,000.
Well, there was another insurance that he had through J.C. Penney, accidental death and dismemberment.
Yes.
And that was $125,000.
And who got that?
I did.
Okay.
He left everything to me.
Fine. And you got all that already.
Right.
So why are we here? I don't understand why we're here.
Because these were his things. She made an agreement with me. She said, in her exact words, when I move out of this house, I will return everything of David's to you. And I believed her. I took her for her word, which, when she did move out of the house, she did leave the things. The next morning, they were gone.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Margaret Jones is suing her deceased son's girlfriend, Melissa Filarecki, for the return of his belongings. Melissa says Margaret already has everything.
All right, I'll hear you. Go ahead.
Your Honor, I do have the ring for her.
Can I see it, please?
Yes, you may.
You say it was a gold ring?
It's supposed to be.
What does it say on it?
From the Sealy Mattress Company.
What was it for?
He was Employee of the Month many, many times. Many
What
times.
else do you have in the bag?
I have the list of stuff I left in the apartment for Margaret.
Can I see it, please? What else is in the bag?
Oh, just pictures, and I have a pin that he got from
I see.
Sealy. Yeah, you want the whole thing?
Mm-hmm. Did the defendant give you the following? Necklace, charms, class ring, and keychain with baby pictures on it.
Yes, those I got. Those were things I gave my son, yes.
She gave them back to you?
Yes, she did.
A teddy bear with a graduation year on it.
That I don't remember.
Title to a motorcycle, a 1998 four-wheeler Rabbit.
Title's in his name, yes.
She gave it
Yes.
to you.
They were in his name.
Dale Earnhardt collectibles.
No, there's only a few pieces.
But she gave you some.
She gave me some of them.
A home gym.
Yes.
Coffee table
No.
he made in high school.
No, I haven't seen that.
Your Honor.
Yes.
It was not left on the back porch. The door was broken off.
Camcorder.
Yes.
All the Christmas decorations.
No.
Model cars.
The only model cars that I know of, and I don't have them, is the cars that I bought for him, but I don't have them now.
Raiders collections.
That's 3/4 away going too. There's only a few pieces left of that.
Car parts, stereo, and speakers.
No.
What'd you do with those?
They left everything on the back porch.
No.
Listen, in the 5 years that you were together, did you exchange gifts?
Yes, we did.
Were you both employed?
Yes, we were.
What kind of work were you doing?
I was a certified nurse's aide, and I also went to school full-time.
When you leased these apartments together, did you purchase things for the apartment together?
Yes, we did.
And you kept a stereo and a VCR and a DVD?
Yes.
Okay. Is there a cash box that you know about?
That's where I got the ring, and I do have the credit cards with me.
Okay, you can give those to her. She's already canceled them. Miss Jones, I'm going to tell you the following, and then I'm going to very quickly address your counterclaim. When somebody dies, an easier emotion to deal with is usually anger.
Yes, ma'am.
You said yes. Do you really understand what I mean? The sadness, is this your daughter?
Yes, it is.
You see, it's much easier to be angry at somebody than to be hurt and feel sad, because you can vent it out. You can get it out. Whereas dealing with the sorrow of somebody's death is much more painful. Whether they had a good relationship or a bad relationship, your son was together with this woman for 4.5 years, and he was a young man. So for the better part of really his adult life, they were together. They were a couple. Whether you thought they were good for each other or bad for each other, it's irrelevant. She was part of his life for a very long time. She tried to do the right thing with you. I mean, if you're talking to me about this ring, you're talking about not a gold ring. I don't even think it's a silver ring. It's a ring that says Sealy on it. She's giving it to you. There's a pin there that also was an Employee of the Month pin. She's giving that to you. It's easier to be angry at her than to either accept certain responsibilities that you might feel for his death, maybe his sister, because this accident was with an ATV, an all-terrain vehicle.
Yes.
Were you there?
I was on it.
She was involved in it.
I mean, I could tell from looking at her that there's more than just grief there, so many months away from the incident, that there may be a little bit of guilt attached.
Right.
Maybe. But that's not her fault. That's not her fault. Nothing's going to bring your son back. Certainly a stereo, a VCR, and a DVD are not going to bring your son back.
Nothing can bring my son back. You're right.
Right. Nothing. Not the $125,000 you got from one insurance policy or the $40,000 that you got from the other insurance policy. Not a VCR, a DVD, and his clothing. They're not going to bring him back.
Well,
These are little mementos that she says you can have.
told me before she didn't have them.
Oh, well, here they are.
Can I speak,
And
Your
I
Honor?
want you to have them. That's all. You can give these back to the plaintiff. Do you want to proceed with this counterclaim that you have for harassment, or you just
Yes.
want to say, listen, let's try to be friends?
No, I do.
I'm listening.
I have the police report. She called and threatened my mom that my mom was going to know.
Is your mother here?
Yes, she is.
Tell me your name.
Linda Villarecki. I'm her mother.
You want to tell me about this phone call that you got from the plaintiff?
Yes, it was a day or two after Melissa moved back home. I had gotten a phone call from Margaret wanting to speak to Melissa, and I wasn't sure who it was, and I asked who she was. She said, Margaret. And I said, Margaret, she's not here. She's working right now. And she said she promised to give me David's PlayStation and surround sound, and she had mentioned things, and I said, Margaret, I would never want to be in your position that you're into. I said, I would never want that. She said, I want these things, and if I don't get these things today, I will kill your daughter, and she will come home in a body bag, and you'll know how it feels to lose a child. And I said, Margaret, I would never want to be in your position. And she just went, she was out of control, and I just hung up on her.
Anger is a much easier thing to deal with than sorrow, because she's able to lash out at you rather than dealing internally with the sorrow of the event
Right.
and the sorrow of the loss.
But I was worried that she was so upset that she had, it was possible.
And you made a police report?
Yes.
Can I see the police report, please?
And, Your Honor, I also missed 2 weekends of work because I also waitress on the weekends.
In Troy.
In Troy. And my boss wrote me a letter.
I don't read letters from bosses. This report is dated in June. Is that right?
Yes.
The police did ask her not to try to stay away from Troy as much as she could for a while until Margaret did calm down.
Did the police come to your house, Mrs. Jones, and speak to you?
No, they did not, Your Honor.
They should have.
I have my police report here where they for larceny, and I never bothered her at her job.
I didn't ask you about your job.
house.
I'm talking to you about this phone call. I believe her mother that
Well,
you had this conversation with her.
I had a conversation with Melissa when she called me
No,
3 or
with her
4
mother.
times.
I'm talking with her mother.
3 or 4 times she's called me.
Did you understand
Yes,
what I
ma'am,
said?
did.
I'm talking about the conversation with her mother. I absolutely believe her mother when her mother says to me that you said, unless I get these things back, you're going to see your daughter in a body bag, then you'll know how it feels. What kind of thing is that to say? It's only because you're angry.
They were never together that length of time either because she had left and went with another guy for a while. The first night of his wake, she had another man sleeping over. And I'd say just about every week after that, there was a different guy in there.
Let me explain something to you. I don't believe that.
That's the honest to God truth.
I don't believe that. Just as I don't believe that you took $165,000 that you got when your son died, right, and went and blew it in Las Vegas.
What?
I wouldn't believe that because you don't look like that kind of person. You look like a reasonable kind of person. And I'm looking at her, and I don't believe that she brought another guy to his, she may have brought another person who was a male to his wake. Listen,
no, excuse me.
let's
maybe
not, you have an anger, and I'm trying very hard to be nice to you.
I know you are.
I am really trying very hard to be nice to you. Your daughter was involved, at least in this incident.
Yes, she was.
You and your brother, how far apart in age are you?
I'm his twin.
So it was very difficult for you.
She has
It is very.
It was very difficult for you. And you actually saw the accident.
He was helping me.
He was helping you when it happened. So you have a certain guilt, right? You have a certain guilt. I understand that. Don't be mad at her. There's no reason to be mad at her. For over a TV, over a VCR, over a stereo. Listen, your son moved out of the house when he was how old?
19.
That's very young to move out of the house. There has to be a reason for that.
He lived right downstairs from me.
I don't care
with
whether he
his
lived right
girlfriend.
downstairs.
With
There's
his-
a reason a child moves out of the house when they're 18 years old unless they go away to school.
No, he moved down
These
with
days,
his girlfriend.
now you can't get rid of them until they're 35.
Well, actually, Judge, he swore he'd never leave again, and he's always stayed by me. And she can even tell you I came first in his life, always.
Well, I want to tell you something. That's not healthy. That's not healthy for a 26-year-old man to have to say, my mother comes first in my life, and she always will.
Because I always helped him when he needed help. I always tried to guide him to do the right thing.
That's what you're supposed to do. So you're not supposed to tarnish his death with this kind of stupidity lawsuit. It's stupid.
That's right.
A
I didn't do
VCR, a television set should not bring you to court. You should say whether they were together a year or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5. There were certain periods of time when they brought each other pleasure, when they cared for each other. She knows how much he cared for you. She knows how much he cared for you. You're supposed to just be a nice lady. So you got the sentimental things back that I think that she was nice to give back to you, that you have. They're yours. I want you to forget about a VCR. I want you to forget about a PlayStation. And I want you to forget about your counterclaim. She's not thinking rationally. Do you understand? You understand? It's going to take some time because the truth of the matter is, whether you have found another person or not, I certainly hope you have, because you're supposed to move on. You're a young woman. She will never get over the death of her child. You don't get over the death of a child. You sometimes get over the death of a partner, a maid, a boyfriend, you know, because you move on with your life and you find someone else to fill that void. She's never going to fill that void, but you have to fill that void with something other than anger, because it's not healthy.
I know.
It's not
I
healthy.
know.
It's not healthy. Make up. Be nice with each other. Your cases are dismissed. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Now this is case number 200 on the calendar in the matter of Wofford versus Cox. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Folks, have seats.
Ms. Wofford, you and the defendant, according to your complaints, had an off-again, on-again relationship for about 7 years.
Correct.
The last time it was off again, it is your claim that he came into the house and took all the property, half of which was yours. He says he got sick and tired of being tossed out with the clothes on his back over the 7-year period and decided that he was going to take the property this time because he paid for it and it's his. He's got a counterclaim for a truck that he purchased for $750 that he says was put in your name because he had some driver's license problems, and you had the truck towed onto your property, and he wants his truck back. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
So my question is, why are you bothering me? Together on and off for 7 years, not married. You see, we don't have courts here for those people who choose just to live together. We have courts for people who are married and divorcing. You know, the property is either community property or it's property that is divided by equitable distribution. But you expect me to go back and figure out who bought what? Is that what you want?
No.
No.
So what do you want?
I would like half of what was given, or half of what was ours.
Who bought it?
We bought it together. We shared all of our monies together.
Did you have a joint bank account?
No, we did not.
You mean you would see a TV and you would say, well, the TV is $500. Here's $250 and here's $250.
That's correct.
Show me. No, the burden is on her.
Okay.
Just listen to me. The burden is on her.
Okay. I would be more than glad to show you proof of receipts, but when he came into my house after the day he broke the restraining order, they took all the receipts. They took the contents of the file came. So I have no receipts. I have pictures of what the TV looks like. I have warranty cards on it.
Did you
That's
go
all
into
I
the
have to offer
house after there was a restraining order filed against you?
I thought I was illegally served. I even called the courts. It was the next day. I went back and only took what things were mine.
Tell me what you took.
I took my TV, my camping gear, my skis, and things that my parents have given me over
Like
the
what?
years. Tin cans that we collect.
What else?
And my clothes. A VCR that a friend of mine owed me $20, and he gave me his VCR instead because he didn't have the money to pay me back.
What else?
That's all I can remember.
Okay. Now, how long did you live in this apartment together?
About 5 years.
Is that right?
Yeah, a little over 5 years.
Did you sleep in a bed?
Yes, we did.
Did he take the bed?
No.
Did you sit
It was
on a
too big.
couch? Shh. Did you sit on a couch?
Yes.
Did he take the couch?
No.
Did you eat on a table?
Yes.
Did he take the table?
Yes, he did.
Kitchen table?
Yes.
Did you take the table?
Yes. I just purchased it.
Just a second.
Oh.
Took the table. Take the chairs that went with the table?
There was 2 chairs with it.
2 chairs. Now let's go back to the living room. There's a sofa.
Yes.
Is there any chair in the living room?
There was 1 chair.
Did he take the chair?
Yes, he did.
Is that right?
The recliner chair that my mom gave me, yes.
Where did she
Gave us.
Did
My
his
mom
mother
never gave
give-
you anything.
Shh. Come on. Swafford. Did the recliner chair come from his mother?
Yes.
Is there a cocktail table in the living room?
Yes, there was.
Okay. And?
He took that also, which was a Christmas gift.
Just a second. Did you? You know, Mr. Cox, when I ask you what you took, you're
I'm
supposed to
sorry.
answer me, sir.
I'm a little nervous, that's all.
I don't care if you're nervous or not. You remembered your skis and you remember the $20 VCR. When I ask you what you took, you're supposed to tell me. How many pieces of furniture did you leave?
Everything that was hers. The couch. She has another kitchen table upstairs. All 4 chairs that go to that kitchen table.
Just a minute. Is there another kitchen table in the house?
Yes, there was.
And did he leave it?
Oh, yes, he did.
Good. What else?
That was hers.
Oh, just a second. What else did you leave is what I want to know.
Her microwave, the microwave stand. All
Okay,
the
just a
dish-
second. Was there a microwave in the house?
Yes.
And did he leave it?
Yes.
You see, what I'm trying to get at, Miss
see.
Swafford, is the following. I have absolutely no intention of wasting my time in going through a bunch of ridiculous items of property. You now have a house. Your house has a bed to sleep in, a table and chairs to eat off of, a couch to sit on, right?
Yes, correct.
You have a microwave, and I assume an oven. Oven is kind of hard to say, but you have a microwave to warm things up in. As far as I'm concerned, that's as much cooking as any natural person has to have. So you have a perfectly livable condition, and I have no intention of going through items like a table and 2 chairs. You got a table and 2 chairs. You got a table and 4 chairs. You got a couch. You took the recliner chair.
Okay, may I say something? There was personal items of mine that he took.
Like what?
When he took his clothes out of the closet, instead of looking, he just gathered them up like this. There was a ski jacket that was bought for me from my sister. The skis that he took that were given to me by my sister. There was several clothes, my fishing pole, my tackle box, the coffee table that was built for me by my son's friend. And here's a statement from him, from the agreement that him and Ron had on it.
Because I paid for it. That's why the
VCR.
agreement's.
No, that is not.
Well,
That
maybe
is-
why don't you explain why we got another coffee table?
Listen to me. Listen to me.
I'm sorry.
Now I want to go back to the truck.
Yes, ma'am.
Who purchased the truck?
I did.
We did.
Ask her
Just
who,
a second. Just a second.
Ask her who the owners were that I bought it from. She don't even know.
How much did the truck cost?
I paid $700 for it.
Where did you get the $700 from?
I made payments as I was working. Each payday, I made payments on it because I couldn't pay $700 up front.
We made payments
Just a
on
second.
it.
Just a second. How did you make payments on it?
Because my boss...
How?
Oh, out of my check.
Check or cash?
Cash.
Now, the rest of the money, sir, went for
Food.
rent and gas and electric, and I assume that you paid those things together.
We did.
Is that right?
My checks usually paid all the bills and stuff because my checks were bigger than her amount because at the time, she was only making minimum wage.
Okay. So your checks went to pay the household bills, and her checks went for what?
To get through. She had a direct deposit. In the last 6-8 months, the year that we were together, her money was her money, and mine was mine. More or less, my money got through, and I had to beg her for
That is not true whatsoever.
That
That
is
is not.
true.
Everything we had together was paid 50-50. He paid half the rent. I paid half the rent.
Show me.
Electricity.
I have some bills to show you that.
Show me.
I have no.
Did you pay your rent by check?
No, we paid it by cash. And can we
Okay,
get back
listen to me. Listen to me. Hey!
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Diane Wofford says ex-boyfriend Ron Cox stole her belongings when he moved out of their apartment. Ron says Diane stole his truck.
Do you have a car?
Yes, I do.
What kind of car do you have?
I have the Toyota pickup, and I have a Chevy.
No! What kind of car do you
I
have?
have a Chevy Cavalier that is
All
broken.
right. Now, what year car is it?
It's a 90 Chevy Cavalier.
The time that the truck was purchased, were you driving the Chevy Cavalier?
Yes.
And what was Mr. Cox driving?
He wasn't driving anything at the time because he doesn't have a driver's license.
Bird, would you give me the title, please?
Can we talk about the restraining order he broke?
No.
Okay. Can we talk about his
You could, talk
alcoholism?
about, you could talk about that with your children, but I'm not interested in it. I'm just interested in getting this.
Sorry.
I'm just interested in, right now, the truck. Okay. I see that this truck was purchased in two people's names. Is that right?
I purchased.
Is that right?
It is at the time, yeah.
All right. Now, Mr. Wofford, let me explain to you something, sir. While there is no equitable distribution or community property involved in people living together, when people choose stupidly to live together for 7 years or 5 years without benefit of marriage, I'm going to take the easiest way out for a court in determining who owns property. And as far as I'm concerned, this property is owned 50-50. Do you understand? You chose, for whatever reason, to put her name on the title.
I made that mistake.
You made a mistake. If you made a mistake, why should I have to suffer for it by extending this case any longer than I have to? Now, you paid $700 for the truck?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that right?
Correct.
Very good. Now, Miss Wofford, are you driving this pickup now?
Yes, I am.
What happened to your Chevy?
It's broken. The
So
French
you're,
stretch-
so you're driving it?
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes, correct.
And do you drive it to work?
Yes, I do.
And I assume you want to keep it?
Yes, I do.
Very good. Then you will pay him on his counterclaim, okay, $350. Your claim is dismissed. On the counterclaim, I'm awarding you $350, sir. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Sign over the title.
What about all my stuff? What about my personal belongings that he has
Sign
taken out of
over
my
the
home?
title. Do we have a pen?
Your Honor, may I say something?
No.
Ma'am, what about the...
No. You're getting a truck, Miss Wofford, that in all probability you had nothing to do with paying for, and you're getting it at a bargain price. Do you understand?
I guess.
Do you understand? Worth at least as much as the fishing pole you say that he took, and that somebody's skis that... Did you sign it, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Perfect. Now, Bird, would you hand that over to Miss Wofford? And then, Bird, would you do me the last favor? Sure. Would you show them out?
Parties are excused. You may step out.
This man came into my home, ripped me off. I have a restraining order about his alcoholism problems this man has had.
A whole relationship was abusive, both physically and mentally.
He's a nothing. He's a no good. He'll always be a no good.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Dubrowski versus Allen. Step forward, please.
22-year-old sales rep Lena Dabrowski is suing dog breeder Teresa Allen for a refund for a pit bull puppy and related expenses. Teresa is countersuing for boarding costs and loss of profit.
Mr. Dabrowski, you claim to have purchased a puppy from the defendant, and the puppy turned out to have certain medical problems. Miss Allen says that there was nothing wrong with the puppy. As a matter of fact, she is counterclaiming. She says that she had a great deal of expense because you returned this puppy to her. At first glance, her countersuit is nonsense, but I will allow her to at least tell me what she thinks you owe her. How did you find this breeder? What kind of a dog did you purchase and when?
It's American Pit Bull Terrier. I found her in June.
How did you find her?
On the internet. We contacted each other through email at first. I couldn't pay for what she was asking up front.
What was she asking?
The $1,000 for a puppy. And when we had a phone conversation after that, we agreed on $500 as long as whenever this dog is shown, her name comes up, kind of like a representation.
And where did you have to go to pick the puppy up?
I had to drive to Las Vegas from San Diego to pick the puppy up. You
mean there are no puppies where you live?
I'm sure there was. I thought she was a very reputable breeder.
Go ahead.
The dogs that I saw on the pictures, I really like the dogs.
Do you have a bill of sale?
Yes, I have the actual contract. Where it states actually right here, where the puppy was $500 and there was no deposit right next to it.
Well, let me just take a look at the contract. You picked up this puppy on the 2nd of March?
Yes, 2nd of March.
Okay, and when did you take the puppy to the vet?
To the vet, I took it on, that's the first vet appointment was on the 6th. But I called her the next day. I noticed that one of its eye was discolored. So I called her that day.
What do you mean discolored? Tell me.
It had like a bluish grayish tint in it. As this. And you don't need the fee. So just basically here, and it talks about the eyes. That's where that is.
Under the examination report, this veterinarian indicates under the eyes there is a discharge, trouble with vision, abnormalities. Now, did you call her and let her know what the results of this examination were?
Yes, I did.
And what did she say to you?
And she said that basically I have to take it because that vet didn't know, and there's no way that that's happening with the dog. I have to take it to an ophthalmologist because.
And did you take it to an ophthalmologist?
I just end up taking it to an ophthalmologist.
Can I see the report from the
Definitely.
ophthalmologist?
This is the letter from the ophthalmologist. And in the bottom, in bold, it states exactly what's wrong with the dog and what its condition is.
So after you got this from the ophthalmologist, what did you do?
In order to avoid the shipping cost, we agreed that if I was to take it to an ophthalmologist and pay the $65 fee, her husband was going to be down in Riverside in April. I would drive up to Riverside, which would be a lot shorter for me, and just give him the dog then.
Excuse me, Your Honor. That was not the whole agreement.
Well, what was the agreement?
Well, first off, she threatened me on the phone through that whole conversation.
She's not finished yet. Then you'll have your turn, unless you can give me a swift. That was not our agreement. Our agreement was...
The agreement was that if I went to the show, that we would take the dog out there at the time when we went to the dog show.
So you did have an agreement that you would pick up the dog if you went out to a dog show?
If we went to the dog show, yes,
And you didn't go to the dog show, is that what you're telling me?
No, we didn't go to the dog show on that dog show.
Oh, okay. So you spent $65 for the vet.
I spent $65.
And how much did you spend to send the dog back because they didn't go to the dog show?
$138.87, and I have the receipt for that as well.
Go ahead.
And she also told me that I had to take it to get its shots. And that was another $30.95, and that already happened March 14th. And I have the receipts for that as well.
Okay. And $500 for the puppy.
Right.
Okay, now I'll hear you, Miss Allen.
Ma'am, I do have a copy of the breed standard for UKC. Mr. Browski states that the dog is not breedable and showable. Breed standard does not specify that.
She wanted to return the puppy.
Yes, ma'am.
Let me explain something to you, Miss Allen. This puppy was in ill health. She is entitled to, under the terms of your contract, her money back.
Yes, ma'am. And I told her I would give her money back, all but the deposit, which is non-refundable, which, when anybody ever emails me about a dog, I explain to them that there's a $200 non-refundable deposit required on
Just show me in your contract where there was a deposit.
On that one, ma'am, there's not.
This is the only contract. Where is it? You have another contract?
Yes, ma'am.
I'd like to see. I would like to see the other contract. Have the plaintiff write her name 3 times on this piece of paper, please.
Sorry, write the what?
Just write your name.
Write your name 3 times.
First and second name. I want you to look at this, and I want you to tell me whether this is your signature. This is the contract that the defendant says plaintiff signed, which indicates that there was a $200 deposit. Is that your signature?
That does not look like my signature, no.
It sure doesn't to me.
You know what? I don't do the K's and the Y's like that, no. My SKY is never like that.
It's not her signature. You wrote this yourself. Give this back to her. She wrote it herself. It's not her signature as it appears on the complaint. It's not her signature as it appears in her writing exemplar. This is her signature, 213. No deposit. Price for puppy, $500. No deposit. What are you, a Swiftie? I mean,
No,
what's
ma'am,
wrong
that's
with you?
her signature, ma'am.
No, it isn't. No, it isn't. It's not her signature. You're a business person. You say, return the dog to me pursuant to our contract, and I'm going to send you your money back, or you can come and pick out another puppy.
And, ma'am, I did that except for the deposit, which was
There was no
non-refundable.
deposit. You're a Swiftie.
No, ma'am.
Not in the contract. Not in the contract that I see. She didn't do this contract over again.
This is the same contract. I printed out 2 copies that day, ma'am, and she
Well,
signed both of the copies in front
No,
of me.
no. One says deposit 0.
Yes, ma'am, and because I messed up on both the contracts, on the first one that she signed, ma'am, I did not put the deposit. When I print out the second one, I made sure that I did that right.
But she didn't sign her name. You did.
No, ma'am.
Or your husband did, or your friend. No. The signatures are totally different. Totally, completely different. The contract, however, does say that the return of the dog is at your expense.
Okay.
You understand that?
Yes.
So you are entitled to $500, which is the cost of your puppy, $65 that you paid for the doctor. It's another $30 to have shots, right? Because she told you to have shots.
Right.
Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $600. That's all.
Now, this is case number 271 on the calendar in the matter of Scheibel versus Lukowski. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Folks, have seats, please.
Mr. Scheibel, the defendant was your son's hockey coach, is that right?
Correct.
And it is your claim that he filed false charges against you, alleging certain threats of violence and harassment. You want to be compensated.
Correct.
The defendant says that whatever charges he filed against you were absolutely accurate, and he has a cross-complaint because he said that you have continued to harass him.
Correct.
How long has your son been in a hockey league, Mr. Scheibel?
It's going on probably 2 years now.
And how long has the defendant been his coach?
I believe this is the first year.
Had they had difficulty from the beginning?
It seemed like it started from I believe, the first game.
Well, tell me about it.
Something had happened on the bench, I'm not quite sure, and then he accused my son of saying vulgar words. And then after the game, my wife had confronted him about it.
You weren't there?
Yes, I was there, but I was at a different part of the ring.
So this is when the trouble started. So maybe you can tell me. What happened at the first game, if you remember?
Stephen Scheibel on my team was in the corner of the bench making gestures like this. I asked him if he was doing okay, and he said no. I thought he was ill. Therefore, he didn't go out the next few shifts. Another young man walked off the rink onto the bench and said to Stephen, "Are you okay?" And I said, "No, he's sick." And he goes, "No, I'm not. F you." I turned to the other coach. I says, I was just cursed at again, which was several other times during practices as it had happened.
This young man cursed at you other times?
Oh, yes, ma'am. This has been a constant problem with Stephen Scheibel, his behavior. We as coaches took disciplinary action by benching him. And in this particular case, I was the one that went and approached Mr. and Mrs. Scheibel outside the rink to advise them of their child's behavior. I said to Mr. and Mrs. Scheibel, I want to let you know of an incident that took place, what their son had said to me. Mrs. Scheibel then called Stephen over and asked him if he said, "Did you say F you?" And Stephen said, "No, Mom."
So he lied?
Yes, ma'am. And then...
Sure you did.
And then Mrs. Scheibel started yelling at me, "Don't be making things about my son." And
So she's an idiot too?
Yes, ma'am.
Hey, before we get to any claims of false charges, let me tell you exactly where I'm coming from so you understand. Usually, fathers who participate as coaches do so because they love the sport and they generally like children. So that I have to assume that the man standing before me is not a psychopath and that the reason he participates in the sport is because he likes children and he likes the sport. So if somebody in authority comes over to you and says to you, "Madam, your son's got a toilet mouth," you believe him. Mm-hmm. Yes, now you're saying yeah.
I did. I believed him. That's why I went and got my son.
And your son said, no, I didn't say it?
I said, you have to apologize to this man if you said that.
Stand up here. Yeah. Not if you said that. Not if you said that. How dare you open your mouth to him?
Right.
Because he just looked at me before and said, I didn't say that. Right?
Right.
Yeah.
You're a liar.
I didn't say that.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. You may con her, but you don't con me because there's no reason for him to lie. You know how many punks like you I've seen in my life who have a fresh mouth? Tens of thousands. And the majority of the ones that continue to get in trouble come from parents who don't think that they do anything wrong, who blame somebody else. There shouldn't have been a question, did you say it? No, not did you say it. He said it. He lied to you, he lied to me. The only thing is, I call him. Now sit down. What happened afterwards?
Well, after we started taking disciplinary action against Stephen regarding other incidences, one was he punched another player on our bench in the stomach, completely disruptive, which led up to having him dismissed from the team. That's when all my problems started, Your Honor. I had death threats called to my house. I've had motorcycles show up in front of my house. Mr. Scheibel continually showed up at our games at 3 different facilities using profanity, and I'm not talking just trash talk. I'm talking vulgar words in front of all the children.
How many times did Mr. Scheibel show up at games where his son was not a participant? And give me the dates and the places.
13. I can go right through the dates, Your Honor, if you
Can
like.
you do that, please?
On August 4th.
Go ahead.
That's the time that Mr. Scheibel came after the other coach and I. On August 6th, he showed up at the Great Lakes Sports Facility in Fraser.
What were you doing there?
My son was supposed to be playing, and my son went down to the locker room, and the coach's wife, she had told him that he's no longer on the roster.
So did you stay or did you leave?
Well, I went down there to see what was going on, and she came up to me, and I told her, I said, why are you talking to me? You have a PPO out on me.
Who had a protective order against you?
Mark and the coach's wife, which I don't understand.
When was that issued, sir?
I believe it was 8-4 or 8 something.
The 8.
Can I see the protective order, please? All right, so now he knows that the kid's not on the team anymore. Now it's August 6th. If he ever knew
Actually,
before...
Your Honor, he had been advised the previous evening when...
Fine. I assume he knew the previous evening and he
Right.
came down there just to test it. But when was the next time he showed up at a game?
On August 10th, he showed up at Joe Dumar's field house, a different facility that we were at. And
What
at
were you
that-
doing there on the 10th, sir?
Was that the day, Stephen, did he play?
Did he play on that date?
No, ma'am.
Was he scheduled to play?
No, ma'am.
What were you still doing involved with this hockey team, sir? Your son was kicked off the team because of his behavior. What were you still involved for?
He was still playing at this
Yeah,
time.
he wasn't kicked off yet. He technically was not kicked off until, I think it was August 12th.
Fine. After August 12th, did he show up at any game?
On the 12th, he showed up at Great Lakes Sports Facility in Fraser and threatened the other coach, his wife, and myself again.
What did he say when he showed up on the 12th?
He said that we better put his son back on the team. I haven't seen the end of him. I will pay. Basically, I don't know if it was this conversation. I better sleep with one eye open.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. David Scheibel says after an incident at a hockey game, his son's coach, Mark Lukowski Sr., filed false charges with the police. Mark says David threatened his life.
Now, on the 8th, there was a protective order issued. What was that based on?
Your Honor, I had received the threats, and he continually came to the facilities. I was for fear of my children and my family.
Okay.
I contacted an attorney. They advised me to go get a personal protection order.
Was that subsequently extended at any time?
No, Your Honor. They filed for motion for dismissal, and we went before the judge on August 26th. And at that case, the judge read Mr. Scheibel the Riot Act and advised him if he sees him in his courtroom one more time, he would be going straight to jail.
He has the minutes. Let me see the minutes.
Okay, great.
According to statute in your jurisdiction, the statute requires 3 contacts that are unwanted after notice. He has to have notice. He does go on to say, now he's on notice. And if there's further contact with you or your son or your family, then you can come back to court. He was not happy with you. Judge is not happy with you. He didn't say he didn't believe what he told him. He said their statute requires 3 contacts. I don't know why it requires 3 contacts. 1 would seem to me to be sufficient. However, you have no right to come in and sue him. Absolutely none. If you put him in fear because of your conduct, then there is no question that by going to the games where you didn't belong, didn't belong, after your son was already on notice that there were problems, and you put yourself out there, he had a right to say, I feel threatened, and I'm afraid, and go to court and seek a protective order so that you would stay away from him. And the protective order is very simple, Mr. Scheibel. It says you're prevented from assaulting, attacking, beating, or molesting him, which you shouldn't do anyway. Interfering with petitioner at his employment, education, or engaging in conduct which impairs petitioner's employment or education, you can't do that anyway. Harassing him, approaching or confronting him in a public place or on private property, you're not to do that anyway. But it also says you're not to appear at his workplace or residence. They've laid those things out. The first part of this protective order prohibits you from doing what the law proscribes anyway. So what's your complaint?
He has no proof that I did all these
I believe him.
lies.
Oh, I believe him.
Well, I called
believe
his
that
house and made fire threats?
No. I'm discounting that. The court discounted that. I read what they said. They asked him, do you have any proof that he was the one who made those threatening calls? And he said no. I'm discounting that. I am not discounting the fact that you said, my son better be back on this team or you better sleep with one eye open. That's a threat.
That
and I
was
believe
never
you said it. Oh, yeah.
No, I didn't.
Oh, yes, I believe you said it. Because I don't believe that somebody who gives up their time to coach a hockey team with children wants to be confrontational.
He's had 3 children walk off this team crying.
So
and
what?
now they're all on my team.
Good for you. I hope your son doesn't curse you.
If he had lied to one time, well, it says he didn't lie again.
What do you mean if he lied once? When did he lie?
About the motorcycles?
No. He didn't lie about that, sir. Listen to me very carefully. What he testified in front of me was that right after your son was dismissed from the team, he started to get threats. He started to get phone calls. Motorcycles started coming around his house. That's what he testified before me. He didn't say he saw you on the motorcycle. He didn't say he did the threats. He said it was coincidental. I'm discounting all of that, sir. I'm saying I believe him when he says that you said you better put my son back on the team or you better sleep with one eye open or you haven't heard the last of this. That's enough of a threat. Now, let's get to your counterclaim. I'll hear it.
Okay, Your Honor. On August 24th, my son Eric was playing a hockey game in the town that Mr. Scheibel resides in. At that time, Mr. Scheibel volunteered to be the scorekeeper during that game. At that time, he started making harassing comments to my son while he was playing hockey. A police report was filed and made, and intimidation and stalking was the offense, and I have a copy of that if you'd like to see it.
I'll look at the police report.
This was the day prior to going back to the PPO hearing. At that time, my son had to discontinue playing hockey at that place. He had made the...
Just a minute. Do you have copies of any of the emails that you allege that Mr. Scheibel sent to your son?
No, Your Honor, I do not. I was called while I was out of town that Mr. Scheibel had sent an email to my son, Eric, and basically it was a non-threatening one, although an intimidating one, by indicating...
I just asked you if he had copies of the emails, sir. They didn't ask for an explanation.
No, I don't.
Mr. Scheibel, did you ever approach one John Savage with regard to your son being thrown off the team?
The father? Yes.
John?
I don't know his name, but I believe that's his name, yes.
And when you approached him, your husband was around?
No.
You went back to where your husband was seated after you spoke to Mr. Savage?
Correct.
And your husband cursed at Mr. Savage?
Yes. I was crying at that time.
Your husband cursed at Mr. Savage?
Yes, correct.
And you told your husband to be quiet?
Possibly.
And that's because he was behaving badly?
Well, I do not like cursing, period.
Step up, Eric. Eric, I want you to tell me what it was that Mr. Scheibel said or did to you that frightened you.
When I was skating by him, he would always go, I'm over here, Eric. Come over here, Eric.
Is there any reason for that, sir? Is there any reason you were calling his name at hockey games?
I wasn't.
Why do you think he would say that you did?
I don't know, Your Honor.
Could it possibly be that because his father had a protective order against you, that you felt as if he could get his goat by making his son feel uncomfortable?
No.
You would never do that.
No, I wouldn't.
You're not a hothead.
He has tried to provoke me.
No, you're not a
yes.
hothead, is what I said.
No, I'm not.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
He's talking about approaching his son. He walked by my son and said, my son is going to kick your ass.
Bad behavior.
Very bad behavior.
Very bad behavior.
I also have a police report, too, Your Honor, that he has implicated my husband, my son, and another member in stealing, larceny from a building. We've been approached by people, oh, you're the people that have the PPO against you. Oh, you're the people that, you know, stole tiles. He is just spreading rumor after rumor after rumor.
Well, the part about the protective order, that's not a rumor.
But, you know, that was all based on lies, too, Your
No,
Honor.
it wasn't. Oh, no, no, no.
Phone calls? Did you...
Listen, did you hear me? Are you not hearing me?
You said
Are you
were,
not hearing me?
You were ignoring this, correct?
Are you not hearing me? I said to you, if somebody says you better sleep with one eye open or I'm going to get you, that's enough for a protective order, and I believe your husband said that to him. And I'm not interested in phone calls because he says he doesn't really know who made them. That's what he told the judge. He said, it just so happens that coincidentally, after Potty Mouth over here was dismissed from the team, he started to get all of these telephone call hang-ups. Now, it could have been your son, it could have been his friends, it could have been somebody else, it could have been your husband. Who knows? Maybe it was you. All I know is that from what I've read, stop flipping, what I've read, your husband's got a toilet mouth sufficient for you to have said to him, sit down in a public place because he cursed at another coach in front of children. Yes, and you had to say to him, sit down.
Okay, I realize, but Mr. Lukowski is saying this all happened after they removed my son from the team, which that is not true.
I don't care if it happened before or after or less Tish above. Doesn't make any difference. Your case is dismissed, period, end of discussion. As far as you're concerned, sir, I want to know if you think that you did everything right.
Yes, Your Honor, I did. I have the code of conduct that I have to sign as a coach.
Don't give me code of conduct.
And
I don't want to have code of conduct. I'm not talking about dismissing him. I think if he opened up a mouth to you once, get rid of him. If his father's prepared to tolerate that because that's the kind of language his father uses, that's the kind of adult he'll grow up to be. But his mother says that you said something to him.
that is totally not true, Your Honor. I would never. I've coached hockey for 7 years, year-round, with 400 to 450 children under my direction and never had any problems. I'm there for the kids. There's no way I would intimidate a young man.
Let's see who heard this. Did you hear it?
No, my son.
Maybe I'll believe him if he says something that's truthful. Get up here. Tell me about a conversation or a statement that your former coach said to you after you had stopped playing ball.
Well, I was there to sub for another team, and I was standing there watching the other game. He looked at me, and he's like, well, my son's going to kick your... Then he walked over to where his son was playing, like he was going to tell him.
And what did you do when he said that to you?
I just kind of stood there and went over to the locker room so I can get dressed.
You mean dressed to play?
Yeah.
And did you play?
Yeah.
Did anything happen at the game?
No, not really.
Your Honor, I do recall this instance and situation, although what I did is my son was playing in a different league. I said to my wife, I'm going to go watch Mark kick some butt, and I walked over to the rink to watch my oldest son play. I made no reference to Stephen Scheibel, never would.
Maybe he heard it and took it as directed to him.
I would never say anything like that.
Maybe.
Your Honor.
All right, listen, go home. Both of you, go home. What?
Well, after he kicked me off the team, a couple games during the playoffs, he let me play again.
So? It means he's a nice guy. I wouldn't have let you play again. He opened up a big, fresh toilet mouth to me, and you would have been in another jurisdiction, another state.
Your Honor,
Just a second. That didn't require an answer. What I'm trying to get through to him is his mother may believe that he never said the words that he said to you. He learned them at home. He sees that they're commonplace. His father can say it, he can say it. There's no question his father said it because his mother said his father said it. If I asked his father would have probably denied it, just like his son did. It's a game. It's a game. It's a game.
Now, this is case number 160 on the calendar in the matter of Barrientos versus Randolph. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ladies, have seats, please.
Mr. Barrientos, the defendant was or is your sister's boyfriend.
Correct.
Is he currently her boyfriend?
Yes.
Your complaint is that he and your sister had some sort of an argument, and later on that day or the next day you became involved, and you claim he assaulted you.
Correct.
You want him to pay for your medical bills and for pain and suffering as a result of the assault. Mr. Randolph says he was merely defending himself. So why don't you tell me how this problem started with your sister?
Well, on the evening of June 5th, 2001, my sister Gloria and my nieces came to my house stating that there had been an argument at their home between Joanne and Sam.
So you have how many sisters?
4.
So some of your sisters came to you and told you
No,
that,
just my one sister, Gloria, and my two nieces, which are Joanne's daughters.
told you that your sister, Joanna,
Correct.
had an argument with her boyfriend, and it had gotten physical.
Correct.
And what did they want you to do?
And they wanted me to call the cops.
Why
And-
couldn't they call the police?
Well, because they said that Samuel had pulled the cords from the phones at the house. So my sister asked me to call the police and have them sent over to their house.
You did that?
I did that, yes, correct.
And then what did you do?
And at that time, I left my sister and my nieces at my home, and I went to my sister's house. And upon arriving there, my sister was there, hysterical, and their house was wrecked because Samuel had broken stuff in their house. And the cops got there, and she gave her statement, and I told her that my sister and her other two children were at my home, and to get her, and I asked her if she wanted to go to my house to get some belongings together and come to my house, at which time we did. And
So Joanne came back to your house. Where's Joanne, by the way? That's you.
And when we got to my home, we sat down and talked about the incident, and she said that she was...
Why don't you step up here, please? Let me bring you back to June 5th. You had an argument with Mr. Randolph?
Yes. Well, it was between my sister and him, but I, got in it and I broke it up, because I didn't want them to argue, it's family.
Ultimately, you got into an argument
Yeah.
with Mr. Randolph.
Yes.
Did it become physical?
No.
That's not true.
No, physical, no.
He did throw things around the house.
In the house? Yeah, the house was messed up. But
All
it had
right,
nothing
so
to
it
do with
became physical. It wasn't just a verbal fight. It became physical. Did he rip the phone cord out of the wall?
No.
Well, then why would somebody have to
Well,
travel?
when I called David, I did tell him, that what was going on at the house and stuff. And I was probably the one that ended up calling the cops because I didn't want, for David to get there or for anything that, get any worse than it was already.
Joanne, I understand that you're sitting on this side of the table, which is the defendant's side. But I want to bring you back to June the 5th. Were you upset?
Yes, I was.
Were you frightened?
No.
Did you spend the night at your brother's house?
Yes, I did.
Why did you spend the night at your brother's house if you weren't frightened?
Early in the morning. I had to be at work at 4 in the morning.
So?
So I didn't want to be late. I wanted to go and get some rest before I had to go to work.
Joanne, let me explain something to you. You have to say things that make sense. What time do you go to work every morning?
At 4 in the morning.
4. And do you sleep at your brother's house every night?
No, I don't.
You sleep at your house every night?
Yes.
So on this particular night, you just told me you wanted to stay there because you didn't want to be late.
Because my kids were already at his house. I wasn't going to run my kids back home and then back over there. It was
How
already
long
late.
does it take?
Like 25 minutes.
He says it takes less, right?
Correct.
All right. Well, even if it takes 25 minutes. You take your kids home so that your kids are sleeping in their own bed. So you stayed at your brother's house because you were upset. Is that a fair statement?
Yes.
All right. And your brother was going to take you to work in the morning?
Yes.
Did you have your own car?
Yes, I did.
Where was your car?
Gloria took it to go to the house.
So your car was at your brother's house?
Yes, it was.
And yet your brother took you to work the next day, which is when this incident happened.
Yes.
Why did your brother take you to work the next day instead of you driving yourself?
Because I was going to lend Gloria the car, that's why.
Is that why?
Yes.
Why did you take her to work?
Because she had the kids
Why?
to go to school.
Why did you take her to work?
Because she said she was afraid of Samuel because he had threatened her, and we locked her vehicle in my garage, Your Honor.
You locked it in the garage, why?
Because he had been calling my home all that evening and passing by my house, and she said that she wanted to leave because of that fact, and I told her, don't worry, we'll lock your car in my garage, and I will take you to work in the morning.
Fine. And is that what you did?
Yes, ma'am.
What happened when you got there?
Upon arriving at Sam's Club, we saw his vehicle parked there, and Joanne got, started
You were
getting
at the
hysterical.
place 4 o'clock in the morning?
Yes, I was.
What were you doing there 4 o'clock in the morning?
I figured I'd go there earlier to try and resolve, see why she left, because the argument wasn't even between me and her.
She left, so you went there at 4 o'clock in the morning.
To talk to her to see why she was so caught up.
And what happened when you got there?
Well, when we got there, Joanne got off her car and she ran into her job, and...
Just a minute. When you got there, did you all see his car?
Yes, ma'am, we did.
She didn't go up to his car.
No, she did not.
Is that right?
Yes.
Why didn't you go up to his car?
Because I was going to work. I wasn't.
You mean you didn't
I
what?
had 5 minutes to get in there, and I was not about to go and talk in the parking lot when my
Not
manager
even
was
to say
waiting for me
hello.
at-
Not even to say hello.
No, my manager's waiting for me at the door to go in. He closes the door after I
Stop.
get in.
All right, stop. You think I believe you? Do you think I believe you? Think anybody believes the story that you're giving me? You went into the place because you were, at that moment, afraid of him and didn't want any confrontation with him. That's why you ran into your place of business. Go ahead.
And after that, she ran into her job, and I went over to the car, and I approached Samuel.
You went over to his car.
Yes, I did.
Mr. Barrientos, that's your first mistake. But let's take it from there.
Okay,
Getting
so-
out of your car and going over to his car was your first mistake. What happened when you got over to his car?
When I got to his car, I was telling him that why was he there stalking my sister and waiting for her at 4 o'clock in the morning, and why does he continue to bother my family? Why can't he just leave my family alone? And he said that he was not going to leave my sister alone, that it was his fiance. And I said, no, she's not your fiance. He said, yes, she is. And he continued arguing, and we continued arguing about the incident. I told him, look, Samuel, I told him, I'm tired of all the abuse you've been giving my sister. I mean, I've never gotten involved with you guys before, but this has gone too far, and, you know, I'm just tired, and why don't you just move on and leave them alone? And he stated that he was not going to leave them alone, and that he had a gun in the car, and that he had a gun in the car which he was going to shoot me and my sister. And at that time, I gave my sister my cell phone to call 911, and when I turned over, he punched me. He got me by my shirt, and he slapped me into the corner edge of his door, at which time I dazed out, and he continued hitting me and threw me on the floor. He just continued hitting me on the floor. My sister came on. She yelled that she had called 911, at which time he got up and got in his car and left.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
David Barrientos says his sister's boyfriend, Samuel Randolph, assaulted him in a fit of rage. David says Samuel was stalking his sister.
What kind of injuries did you sustain?
I sustained an abrasion on my left cheek and on my knees and bruises on my shoulder.
Do you have any medical reports or photographs?
Yes, I do.
I'd like to see them, please. All right, Mr. Randolph, let me hear your version of the events, sir.
Okay. The night before the fight happened, I believe that was June 4th. Me and Gloria had got in an argument.
This is Gloria?
That's Gloria, yes. I came home from work that day, and Joanne's oldest daughter's boyfriend was there, and we began to talk. And he told me, you know what, when you're at work, Gloria's talking stuff about, she's talking to Joanne, telling her all kind of stuff, why she shouldn't be with you. And I was like, well, why did she say this? At the time, her and her family was staying with us. She didn't work, her or her husband, so I was supporting them. So later that night, her daughter and her boyfriend, they leave, and I confront Gloria. I was like, look, Gloria, if you're gonna be living here with me and everything, I'm gonna support you guys. Don't talk about me, and please, not behind. If you have anything to say, say it to me. An argument broke out between me and her. At the time, Joanne was asleep in the house. Me and Gloria were outside. Gloria goes in and wakes Joanne up, talking about, well, do you see what he's saying to me, that I'm gonna have to leave and all this and that. And Joanne wakes up. She was like, well, what's going on? Me and Gloria, we started arguing. Joanne broke us up. Joanne told Gloria to take the car and just leave.
Yeah, but you got upset, Mr. Randolph. You were throwing things around the house?
Not at that point.
At what point?
The argument had escalated outside, and when she left, I came back in and I hit a glass, and the glass shattered on the ground.
What else?
That was it. Wasn't nothing thrown. I didn't pull the phone cord out of the wall or nothing like that.
Well, what did you throw the glass for after she left?
I just ran. I was upset. I went in and I hit the glass. Just a stupid part of them.
Hit what glass?
It was a big glass mirror.
What did you break it with?
My fist.
Go ahead.
Me and Joanne started talking about the incident. I guess
Talking or arguing?
Talking at the time. I was kind of ready. She was trying to calm me down. I was the one upset.
You were very upset.
Oh, yeah, I was. After the police arrived, that's when David came back to the house. They asked Joanne, well, did she have anywhere to go for the night? And she said, yeah, I can go with my brother. So she went to her brother's house. I went to my mother's house.
Just a minute, but you started calling the house.
My mother called the house to speak to Joanne to see what was going on. At the time, David told her, don't effing call here no more. Okay, so we didn't call no more.
You didn't call?
No, I did not call.
Go ahead.
So the night went on. I went up, I left the house possibly about 3:15, meet her up there about 3:30. At the time, she hadn't arrived yet. I stepped outside of my car, and I seen her brother and Gloria pull up. And Joanne walks inside of her job, and she...
Did you call after her?
Yeah, I called her name out.
And what did she do when you called her name out?
She turned around and looked at me, and she walked right in the door. So I get back in my car and get ready to leave, and David approaches me. He gets out the car, yells at me, why in the F are you still messing with my family, this and that? And I look at him and like, look, this is getting out of hand. This has nothing to do with you. So I turned around to get back in the car.
When did you get out of the car? You didn't tell me you got out of the car.
When he approached me.
He approached you. You were still in your car.
Yeah, when he started, I thought he was just coming over to talk to me, so I got out the car. As soon as I got out the car, he started yelling at me.
All right, so he's yelling. Go ahead.
I go around to open my car door. He pushes me in the car, and then he slams the door on my leg.
Did you have injuries?
I had a little abrasion on my right knee.
Let me see.
The police report states that the officer seen that. I don't have no pictures or anything.
Let me see the police report. Go ahead. So he pushed you in the car, and he slams the door on your leg.
Right, my leg is still hanging out the door when he pushes me in the car. And he starts to walk back to his car. Well, I jump up, and I rush him.
Yeah.
You know, I grab him by his shirt, I throw him against the car, he falls to the ground, and that's when the fight broke out.
Okay. He pushed you into the car. What kind of car do you have?
It was a Cadillac at the time.
And then you said he slammed the door on your leg.
Right.
Bird, you know I'm not very good at these technical things, so I'm going to need your assistance to help work this out in my head. If you're in a car and somebody slams the door on your leg, you know, when you get your leg caught in the door, would you step out a little bit over here? Could you show me where you think on your leg that car door might hit?
I mean, I'm 6'3", Judge. Difference of height, but if I fell in, it probably hit me around just below the knee.
And where do you think it might hit him?
Usually just below the knee, I would say about the calf area.
At the calf area?
Yes, yeah.
That's where it would strike me that it would hit you if the car door is slamming on your leg.
I don't know I don't know the exact time that I got cut, whether it was when he pushed me into the car or when we started fighting.
Right. So there wasn't an injury as a result of this door slamming on your leg, because the only indication here is that you had an abrasion to your right knee.
Right.
Now, if you're going into a car, it's your left side that's out of the car, not your right side.
I guess the abrasion happened when we were fighting then.
Then I guess it did. So you had no injury as a result of this alleged pushing into the car, right?
Right.
But he had some pretty serious injuries, sir.
I tried to walk away from the incident, yeah.
No, sir. You went there at 4 o'clock in the morning for a reason. Did you expect her brother to be there when she...
No, I did not.
Right. And she clearly didn't want to speak to you. Did you drive by his house at all that night?
No, I did not.
Yes, you did. Why didn't you stay in your house that night?
I just went to my mother's house that night.
Right. So you were in your car. Because you could have stayed at your house. She wasn't there. You went to your mother's house and took a quick drive-by around his house before you got to your mother's house. So you were mad. And at 3:30 or 3:45 in the morning is not the time to have a discussion with her when she's going to work. You know that. Mr. Barrientos.
I also have one more thing to state.
Go ahead.
On that same week of this incident, my sister stated that she didn't want nothing to do with Samuel no more. And that same 2 days later, we went and I rented a truck. We took all her stuff out. We put it in storage. Some of it is stored in my garage. And she moved in with me, and she continued to live with me for the next 6 months.
Really?
Until they got back together.
Joanne, how come you didn't tell me that? I thought you just went to your brother's house so that you wouldn't be late for work the next day.
That was true. That's what you were asking me. That's why I answered you that.
And you decided to live there for 6 months? Hama?
Yes.
let me give you a piece of advice, sir. Never get mixed up with somebody else's domestic situation. You see how they made up? They're like lovebirds again.
Right.
You're not talking to your sister's not talking to you. She's mad at Gloria. Gloria's mad at her because you got involved with her domestic situation, right?
Correct.
They're all smushy-dutchy and lovey-dovey, right? And now the family is estranged all because you try to do the right thing. However, the wrong thing is to stick your nose in somebody else's business. It was the wrong thing for you to get out of your car and go over to Mr. Randolph that morning. You drop your sister off and you leave. That doesn't mean that you're entitled to be assaulted.
Correct.
And I believe that you were. Mr. Randolph, you got to watch your temper, sir. How long are you back together again?
It's been about a year.
And how long have you been together, all told?
3 years.
How many times have you had the police out to your house?
3 times, about 3.
Why?
My temper.
Your temper?
Yeah.
Has anybody ever said to you that you should at least try anger management?
Yes.
Is there any reason why you haven't availed yourself of an anger management program?
No, not really.
Were you drinking at the time of this incident?
I had a beer earlier in the day.
So it's not alcohol related.
No.
It's temper related. You got to learn how to take care of that, sir, because you're going to end up hurting somebody else, or you'll end up having a heart attack and dying yourself. Neither one are very smart. In any event, on this case, judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $2,500. Thank you.
Parties are excused.